At this point, it's all about money and power, right? If you got the money and power, you can literally control anything. So, and what makes the world go around? That's the question. It's oil, right? Look at what's happening in Venezuela, right? They want to get to that oil, because if you control the oil industry, you control the whole planet. So, is the CIA, working together with other countries to, take over some lands and use extraterrestrial technology to do that? Right? Think about it. Because if you got alien technology and if you got these alien reproduction vehicles, you can literally use that to take over other countries, other land, so you can get to the oil, right? So oil is necessary on this planet. Like, you can make a lot of money with oil. If you control the oil industry, you pretty much control the whole world, right? Because you need oil for everything, right? When you go to the grocery store, the trucks, they need fuel, they need oil, right? Diesel, gas, right? Airplanes, helicopters, military fighter jets, like everything in the world, it's moved by oil. So if the CIA is working very closely with other foreign countries, right, on this UAP situation, right, to take over other countries, right, to benefit them, the Russians and the Chinese and why not? Is that a thing? Do you believe that's happening? I'm just speculating here, right? I'm just having an open mind. I'm like looking around on what's going on in the world today, right? There's a lot of crazy shit going on out there, right? They're talking about taking over Greenland now, I mean, they can easily do that, Donald Trump is saying he's going to take Greenland, right? And what's the reason behind it? What's the reason why they want Greenland, right? Well, they're talking about because of national security and all of that, right? Because they don't want the Russians and the Chinese to take over Greenland. But I think there's more to that, I think there's more to that. And they can easily do that, They can easily do that, because if they went down to Venezuela and took Maduro in 8 minutes, right? And I'm pretty sure they did use extraterrestrial technology to do that operation, But we're not going to get into that. So they can easily take over Greenland with, using extraterrestrial technology, if you think about it. Is that going to happen? I don't know. I mean, if that happens, that's going to create a very dangerous scenario, right? There's going to be a war, between NATO allies and European countries and the United States and all of that. So, I mean, I think it'll be a mistake. I think it'll be a huge mistake if they do that, which they can. Once again, I mean, they're holding extraterrestrial technology, right? They have these crafts with, electromagnetic weapons, They don't have to use nuclear weapons and things like that. They can just use some drones, very highly advanced drones, to make people confused, right, with these weapons, make them bleed out of their nose, their ears, and just take over the whole land, Greenland, right? They don't have to use nuclear. The whole point here is, if you're going to take Greenland, right, is because you don't want the Russians to take over Greenland or, the Chinese. But that's the government, right? That's the United States government, the president saying that. But you got to remember, the CIA does not have a term. The CIA, like whether that, like a president does have a term, like a 4-year or 8-year term, right? and then they're out, then somebody else will come in. But the CIA, they're always there, right? You know, especially if you like go down deep in the rabbit hole, right? You got these people controlling this whole situation, you know? So what's really going on here? You know, what's in Greenland? Is there a UFO buried in Greenland, right? Like a giant mothership buried in Greenland? I mean, that's what's going around in the internet right now. You know, there's a lot of people speculating that there is some type of, you know, huge mothership buried under the ice. And since it's melting down, right, the ice is melting down, you know, they can easily get that, right? The United States, the CIA, along with other countries. I don't know. I'm just kind of speculating here, man. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section about this. Do you believe the CIA is working very closely with other countries, low key, you know, just to kind of, right, hey, let's go and take over this, you know, before Donald Trump goes out, right? Because they know they can easily manipulate Donald Trump by doing all of these things, right? Because they probably know the next president is just not gonna do anything about it. So I'm just, you know, speculating here, but let me know in the comment section about this. Do you believe they are working together, right? Do you believe they're holding the UAP secrets to take over Greenland and maybe other land around the world? Let me know in the comment section. And please, if you like this video, share this video, like this video, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next episode.